Hello, um, my name is Mark. This is gonna be one of my first videos on YouTube in a while. So it's not that I've never posted on YouTube before. I have. But I've been on YouTube and social media in a couple ways. At one point I was documenting specifically a fitness journey. At one point I was helping one of my friends on YouTube, and I was in his videos, and I was practicing as a cameraman as well. And maybe when I was younger in elementary, I've also practiced as a YouTuber. But I've watched like a couple of videos, and I've seen kind of people getting away with solely presenting their personality, opinions, and life experiences, and using their phone to document YouTube videos, and having success, building a community. And I like it. And today's video is gonna be about I'm sorry, I'll show you guys. I am looking at a notebook because I kind of need it. Similar to the other person that I've watched on YouTube, he does use a notebook, and I like the idea that I journaled and like just wrote some things down. But today's video is going to be about the reason why I am starting a YouTube journey at 20 years old and will probably never quit. The first reason is, and when I mention the reasons, I'm going to take a pause and try to buffer and create more length to it, but if I'm unable to, I will move on. Here I do have 6 reasons down. I think I have a 7th, but we'll go with the 6 reasons for now. So here I'm trying to build an asset / start a project. Now, to highlight on the build an asset, let's say this car, for example. A lot of people don't believe in it, it's an asset, but it is an asset because you buy it for a value, cash value. When you drive it, even though you're driving it, it has a cash value. It's never at any point in time, including the time where it is no longer drivable, is it worth exactly $0. So in that way, it's an asset. Unlike food, you can pay $50 for a plate of food, and you eat it and consume it, and it's gone. It's an asset to give you energy, but that doesn't really count as an asset because it's gone. It has been used. A vehicle is an asset that you use for a long period of time, but even at the end of the period, it still has a value. And even during that period, it has values such as transportation, meeting people, creating new opportunities. So that in itself is I would say is part of the asset and part of the usefulness. So to highlight on me trying to build an asset, I mean a digital asset such as cryptocurrency, but this is more the word practical. It's more practical. I can access my YouTube channel at any time, communicate with my viewers at any time. If I become popular, I can know the fact that I have a valid opinion and I can influence. I could show people that I donate $1,000 to a charity. I could write a book that guides youth. I could do a lot of things. So that's what I mean by trying to build an asset. To highlight on start a project, that's probably more sorry, I'm gonna take a break here. Starting a project is more like something like similar to starting a Shopify store to drop ship, or starting a new college course. So this is like me starting a new college course where I'm putting myself out there on the internet. without any additional activities, just me and my voice, trying to see if people will like me. Believe it or not, I care about that. I care that when I post videos online, I want the majority of people to like me, because I'm filtering and making sure that none of the things that are coming out of my mouth are political, offensive. They're there to build. That will be my goal. So that's what I mean by, starting a project. So reason number 2 is gonna be, I'm just taking a break here. Reason number 2 is I want to document so I have something to look back at. From now, I'm at 0 to 20 years old, almost 21. I have memories, of course, but a lot of them are dead because I don't have them saved, for example. So me creating a YouTube channel, it definitely won't cover all my memories, but it will cover some of them. And honestly, I'm happy about that. And that's honestly the limit of what I have to say. Like, I have a friend recently, not actually recently, maybe like 4 or 5 years ago, his father passed away, and he's one of my good friends. So now we love his father, and now when we come to look back at it, most of the time we refer or look at his YouTube channel, and that made me look at YouTube as something more valuable in that sense, is that like it's tangible, it's something that we can always access, it will always be there, and it's going to be important that we post positive things on the internet so that people can look back at it and enjoy it, right? So just taking a break again. That's what I mean by I want to document and have something to look back at. Now, reason number three is I want to ignite risk-taking behaviors so I can feel younger. What I've experienced is that if you have bad habits, if you have lazy habits, if you have sluggish habits, if you have drug habits such as marijuana and alcohol at a heavy use and all these other hardcore drugs, if you have them, you're only making yourself older. If you have a bad habit of wasting time, and psychologically your brain knows that, hey, the thing I'm doing it specifically because I have nothing better to do, I'm doing it. It could be sitting at a park, it could be doing this, it could be doing that, something like that. It could be watching TV. If you are specifically doing that task because you know that you have nothing better to do, you're just making your brain older, you're rotting your brain away. You're not taking any risks, and you don't have any ignition. You don't have any, for example, spark plugs in a car. You don't have that spark, that ignition. You don't wake up in the morning and lift your head like this, like, sorry, because I'm not laying down in bed, but you're not, let's say your head is like this, you're not waking up and going like this and running out of bed and be like, oh my God, I have so many things to do. Because you're not taking any risk. You have a job. Nobody wakes up fast to go to their job. You know what I mean? There are specific circumstances to that, such as someone who was passionate and did a long-term goal, such as a lawyer, doctor, or something very professional, and they're very known in it. But other than that, if you're not very known in your career, nobody really knows you, you don't know what you're doing, you're not excited about it. You know what I mean? So it's like, that's something that I feel like a lot of youth have to practice before they grow up, is igniting their risk-taking behaviors. So even if nothing works, you can at least look back at it. You could tell your kids, like, oh yeah, when I was younger, I used to own a Porsche. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Anything like that. That's buying a luxury cars, even when you're not really able to afford it or you're just there. That's igniting risk-taking behavior as well. because you're taking the bet on yourself to say, you know what, I'm gonna make more money, so let me treat myself here. You know, a lot of people, including myself when I was younger too, is like, they don't know how to treat themselves. They feel like they don't deserve. I'm not other people, but there's people who feel like they don't deserve. I had those habits too. I used to save a lot more money, things like that, and I've got rid of them. And to be honest, I've been seeing thousands and thousands of dollars just enter and exit my account like none before. It's gotten easier to create income, just because of releasing that habit and engaging in self-investment. So that's number 3. I'm gonna take a break here. Number 4 is that I want to have valid opinion to move the world forward and influence youth. I'm gonna admit it straight up. Some people have a problem with admitting this, or they don't try to pretend like they don't care, but one of my goals is that I want people to look up to me. Some people don't want that, but I want people to look up to me. How I'm going to do that, I don't know. But part of my goal in life is I want people to look up to me, and I want to be known for doing something good. And the main group of people that I want to focus on is probably youth. When I say youth, I probably mean from 18 to 25. I think for the rest of my life, the age 18 to 25 will be my favorite group. I feel like that group here in the area code I live in, they struggle. And that's about it, to be honest. It's just like everybody is going through things. We have youth unemployment crisis. I believe it's to the point where youth aren't even trying to get jobs anymore, and youth are struggling. Some of them are struggling in school, some of them don't really know what they're doing, and some are doing better than others. But I would assume and think that right now most of the youth are struggling, and my goal is to build myself up financially, mentally, physically, so that I can guide other youth one day. And I really hope I get to do that. My 5th goal here, and this one's important to me, but my 5th goal here is eventually, surely and eventually, I want to attempt to become non-working class. I don't want there to be a time obligation. I don't want to be obligated to a certain amount of time, purely just for the fact of just living. Why I have a problem with that, I'm not sure. But again, I'll say it again. It's like, I do not want to have a time obligation in exchange for just living. Regardless if I own a property, I own out my vehicle outright, or I'm in debt for my vehicle, I'm in debt for my property. It doesn't make a difference. The point is, the goal for me is to gently attempt to try to get out of that. Because, you know, in these inflationary times, a lot of people are complaining and suffering from them having to visit the food bank and bills and that. And when you really look around here in Canada, you're gonna start to closely notice that A lot of people that have cars and houses, they don't work. They don't work. And they don't look like they're the age of retirement, and they don't work. Am I just assuming that? Maybe, but I don't think so. It takes 2 seconds. You walk on if you're an unemployed person right now and you have the time, you go walk into a casino on a Monday morning or a Monday at 3 a.m. Go see how many people are there that are middle-aged adults that are not working, they're gambling. Maybe they're in a midlife crisis, but I highly doubt it. It's more likely that they're no longer working class, and that is a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing sometimes. It just depends. It depends per person. But for me, I see it as a beautiful thing to enjoy life without worrying about working. Does that mean you have to be doing absolutely nothing to contribute to society? No. You can be an actor, you can be a singer, you can be a politician, you can be the president, you can be the prime minister. You can do something that doesn't require you to use 40 hours a week. Mandatorily 40 hours a week of your time to live, and still at the same time pay bills, contribute to the economy, and contribute to society, except minus the full time exchange. You can try to find a way to make your hour worth more value to the point where you don't have to work for 40 hours. There's people who have that. CEOs that are spending 1 hour or 2 hours in a meeting just talking, making decisions that generate millions of dollars in profits. Everyone has to find their way, but I would hope that for most youth, one of their goals is to at least gently attempt and try to become non-working class. Now, some people are going to become working professionals, and I think that's a great journey. But for me, I've found so far from the jobs that I've worked, obviously they're not professional, but from the jobs I've worked, I found that the time exchange is really draining. And yeah. Now, the last reason why I want to start my YouTube journey is that eventually what I want to do is that eventually I want to write books. I have no idea how this will go. I have no idea how much this will cost, but eventually I either want to write books or create magazines. I'm more comfortable with the idea of magazines. I'm really trying to get away, because me myself, I'm not a read and writer. I don't like to write, I don't like to read, but I guess I like to illustrate. And what does that mean is that I want to put my life on a pieces of paper, and do that. I want to do that. So eventually I want to write books or create magazines. What will they be about? Most of them will be about guidance, overcoming problems, hopefully, overcoming loneliness. And you know what, I'm gonna skip that reason and say, hey, the final reason why I want to start my YouTube journey, number 7, will be probably that I want to once and for all overcome loneliness by engaging with my community. And I feel like that's one of the beautiful parts of being famous on social media in a positive way. And I am not going to take a shortcut and engage in stupidity, even though that could get me views. This video right here is 20 minutes long. I only have 50 subscribers. This video can get 0 views. But I will not engage in stupidity to try and draw views, because I will not be known for something good. You understand what I'm saying here? It's like, so I'm not that lonely of a person, but I hate the cycle of waiting till this person's free and that person's free and this person's not free today and that person's free, and it's kind of an annoying headache. But I do have my close friends where I don't really have that problem, but it's like I want to fill the void completely, and that's about it. And that's by creating hobbies, building projects, all the reasons that I've mentioned here. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I am going to try to upload videos every day, and that's about it. This was a pretty long video, and I hope I get the views that I'm supposed to get. I'm gonna probably just take this paper. I don't want my parents or someone to see it. It's just a stupid paper that I wrote. It's not stupid, it's actually pretty nice handwriting. I wrote it here on the dashboard. Just a paper here. I'm going to crumple it up, you know what I mean, because the video's done. And that's about it. I just got a missed call from my friend, so I have to call him back. And yeah, this is my YouTube journey. I'm going to try to upload every day. I don't really have an excuse, and every day I'll try to come up with a new idea. And thank God we have generative AI for me to, I have no excuse to not build this YouTube channel. I just don't know if this type of content is going to succeed. Thank you guys for watching, and have a good day for now.